Hi, this is Jono, and here is an update on the 1404 App Developer Program plans. This slide lists out our goals for the 1404 cycle, and I'm going to provide a line-by-line update on where we stand today. So first of all, in terms of developer.ubuntu.com, we have API docs for HTML5 and community enhancements. This has turned into a slightly longer project because we wanted to make some refinements to our HTML5 support to better expose the sensors and the platform APIs. So we've been working with the platform team to identify those areas that need fixing. We had issues such as the platform APIs were not exposed. We had multiple containers. We had some performance issues, multiple templates in the SDK. Daniel Holbach has been coordinating with the platform team and my team, the SDK team, to get those issues resolved. We already had some HTML5 API docs in place. That's the reason why I've partially marked this as done. But when that work does land, all of those APIs will land onto developer.ubuntu.com and will complete the picture. The second line is long-form documentation. This is longer tutorials and guides that we're building for both QML and HTML5 apps. We've already got the HTML5 work in progress right now. The QML work is going to come a little bit after that, but both of those long-form documentation guides will land on developer.ubuntu.com ready for the 1404 release. Porting recommendations have been deferred. We don't really have a good solution for porting today. It's still a set of discussions happening in terms of that. And I've deferred this until we have a good solution, and therefore we can provide recommendations. We will provide some guidance on developer.ubuntu.com, mapping how an Android app, for example, you could map certain classes to Ubuntu SDK classes, but that's going to be the extent of the documentation that we're going to provide. When we have a better, more fixed plan for porting, we'll revisit this. The cookbook enhancements. The cookbook is a script that we wrote to pull the very best rated questions from Ask Ubuntu and to integrate them into developer.ubuntu.com. This means that we reuse the support resource that we point people to and make that content reusable. The script is running, so the infrastructure is running, but we're in the process of reviewing those questions, getting them up to speed, and getting them categorized into the site. That will be completed ready for 1404. We've deferred developer blog aggregation because there is some complexity around which developer blogs we choose to integrate into developer.ubuntu.com, how we ensure high quality content, and this is not critical to our goals. We've deferred that to the 1410 cycle. In terms of materials growth, two areas here. App developer schools. We want to put together a series of schools where people are teaching people how to write apps with the Ubuntu SDK in their local area. We're working with the local teams around this. In terms of the materials, all the presentation content for that has all been completed by David Planella, and we're expanding that to cover how someone would run a workshop as part of the Ubuntu Advocacy Kit. In terms of videos, we've been working with Jordan from the XDA community. He's doing a series of formal videos about progress made with the Ubuntu developer community, as well as cool apps that are in progress as well. But also our videos from our Ubuntu app developer week. All of that video tutorial content can also flow into that side of the materials growth as well. In terms of developer growth, Ubuntu app developer schools and local user group outreach. As I mentioned, this is already in progress. We've got the materials. My goal is to have 10 to 15 events in this next cycle, which I think is achievable. It's going to take a little longer to get there starting out because we've got more work to do, but we're already seeing those events being planned out right now. In terms of event coordination, App Developer Week, Global Jam, App Developer Unconference, all of these are in place. So I've marked this as partially done because we've done a bunch of these things. We just need to repeat them, but some of them are in progress. The App Developer Unconference, for example, is still something that we're planning out. Published app publicity. This is again something that's in progress. We're constantly raising the visibility on cool apps that people are writing. And then interview and case study series. We just started this quite recently where we're interviewing people and putting those developer interviews up on developer.ubuntu.com. In terms of our apps programs, core apps, I've marked this as done because the infrastructure and the process for how we're managing those core apps is fairly well established, but obviously that work is ongoing. The Ubuntu App Showdown, this again is something that we've already defined as a standard process that in which we're going to run these programs. And we've got the Ubuntu App Showdown planned out. The next one is planned out for February, and they'll be happening on a regular cycle-by-cycle basis. Evernote. The application is in progress. The reason why I've marked this as in progress and not done is that while good progress is being made, we're still figuring out how to manage these kinds of projects. So I'm marking this as in progress, but I'm expecting that to be feature complete by the 1404 release. General convergence. This is also in progress. We still have a bit of work to do here to provide design guidelines and recommendations for how people converge their applications, but that work is making good progress. And then targeted conversions. These are specific apps that we're reaching out towards to converge them for the different form factors. We've already reached out to Karma Machine, Saucy Bacon. We're reaching out to some others. This is, again, an ongoing piece of work that will be supported by those design guidelines and other work. And then in terms of other pieces, we have the developer and platform feedback loop. A lot of this is just making sure that we have our eyes on the ground in terms of the challenges that developers are facing and forwarding that feedback towards our platform team and provide an opportunity for those developers to reach out to the team directly. I believe that we have sufficient processes in place to do that. And then targeted QML, HTML community outreach. Again, we're going out to the Qt conference. We're reaching out to XDA. We're reaching out to HTML5 communities. We're starting that work right now. So I've marked it as in progress because that work has started happening, but we still have a long road to broaden that out. Right now, we're really targeting the early adopter side of things as we continue to grow the Ubuntu SDK.